When you're traveling to Disney World, things can get pricey. Luckily, our team of experts have crafted a list of the 19 worst things to buy and maybe what to buy instead. I'm going to tell you what's in and what is out. Look, Disney can be expensive if you aren't properly prepared, and I'm sorry to be the one to break the news, but Disney is getting more and more expensive as time goes on. You've got to budget and figure out what's important to you. Merch, snacks, Genie Plus, don't even get me started on buyer's remorse. Disney has some pretty intense things that you can buy that may be impossible to pack or get home, but with our list, hopefully we can steer you in the right direction, and maybe give you some better options along the way. Let's get started. Now today I'm at Magic Kingdom because that's where a majority of these things are. However, we are talking about all 4 parks today. Now while I'm on my way to the first thing that is probably gonna be a bad buy for you, let's talk about a very, very controversial item. Hurts my soul a little bit, but it is definitely on the list.
And this is over at Hollywood Studios. I'm talking about Galaxy's Edge lightsabers. And yes, I'm talking about the Star Wars lightsabers, the expensive Star Wars lightsabers. Now you can find these lightsabers a couple different places in Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios. The first one is Doc Ondar's, where you can purchase different characters' lightsabers, like Princess Leia, General Leia, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano. But then you can actually build your own lightsabers at Sabi's workshop, and that's a full experience. You get to choose your own Kyber crystal with a great actor, and it's telling you what it means, what each Kyber crystal means. Then you're building your own lightsaber, then you get to ignite it for the very first time. It's really cool, but it can get pretty expensive. We're talking about around $200. Now, because these lightsabers are so expensive, that means they are breakable. I know that's a weird thing. As the more expensive that they get, the more breakable they become. But they are literally made of metal, they're heavy, and because they're heavy, and they don't collapse, that means it's going to be a pain to carry around for the rest of the day, because you actually can't go on a majority of the rides with a lightsaber. So that means if you want to ride an attraction, either you're going to have to purchase a large locker to fit your non-collapsible lightsaber in it, or someone is going to have to stay off the ride and hold your lightsaber while you go riding. Now, I have had some of my friends and family purchase lightsabers, and they were traveling, and what they did, they ended up having to go back to their resort, drop off their lightsaber, and then come back to Hollywood Studios, which, sure, that is a possibility, but what a huge time suck. On a personal note, I love the Galaxy's Edge lightsabers. I think it's really cool to have some of these characters' lightsabers. It's a cool collectible piece if that's something you're into. If you're into Star Wars, I totally get it. Get your lightsaber, go for it. But if you are traveling, it's not going to be super conducive to travel, because I can't imagine trying to get that on an airplane. However, if you're looking for a better option, over at Star Tours gift shop, right at the end of Star Tours, you can actually build your own lightsaber, and it is collapsible, it is plastic, and it is definitely cheaper.
And the next item on our worst buy list is wine and liquor bottles. Now, there are a couple different places you can do this, but I'm going to talk about specifically the wine cellar in the Germany Pavilion at Epcot, also in the Italy Pavilion at Epcot. Now, you can purchase wine or bottles of liquor in both of these pavilions, and really, they've got some really unique wines to that country. They've got unique liquor to that country, specifically the wine cellar. They have this really interesting pear liqueur that basically they grew a pear inside of the bottle, and then once the pear grew to a certain size, they took it off and they filled it with a certain type of liquor, and then after that it infused to create this pear liquor. It's really interesting, really cool. However, it's so expensive. We're talking about some of these wine bottles, liquor bottles, going anywhere from $35, $40 all the way to $70, $80, $90, sometimes above $100, depending on how high end it is. So right away you drop in a lot of coin for wine, a wine bottle or a liquor bottle. And then it's not like you can take the wine bottle, find a step in the Italy Pavilion at Epcot, crack open the bottle of wine and enjoy yourself. No, you actually cannot open it until you leave the park. They're in fact going to put it into a small box, a sealed box, and you cannot open it while you're inside the park. On top of all that, it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be awkward to carry around. I mean, it's glass bottle. You can't carry it on rides. There's no way you can take a glass bottle on Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just not happening. Instead, why not do a tasting or a flight? Inside the wine cellar, you can try a taste of the chocolate liqueur or the apple liqueur. Each one is very unique, and it's a great way to still try the liquor without having to buy the super expensive bottle. And in other countries, you can actually buy a flight to try some of their signature liquor. For example, at La Cava del Tequila, there is a tequila flight. So buying big bottles of alcohol is out, but the tastings are in. This one is a big one. This is picking up last-minute supplies at your hotel, but you are gonna pay for them because they are very expensive. But I've got a tip that will save you time and money. And that would be ordering grocery delivery from Kroger. Don't waste your vacation time in a grocery store. Have Kroger bring it straight to you. You can order anything you'd find in that store, including your kids' favorite snacks that you can't find anywhere at Disney. Fun fact, Cheerios, they don't sell them anywhere at Disney. Or in case you need sunscreen when you realize you've underestimated the Florida sun. You'll find sales and coupons from your favorite brands, just like in stores, so you aren't paying a premium for getting it through an app, and you're still getting the best deals. Now, if you order anything cold, Kroger delivers in refrigerated trucks, so you don't need to worry about your groceries getting warm. We do suggest meeting your delivery driver in the lobby of your resort, but Disney can hold your groceries for you for a small fee. And you don't need to worry about adding a tip. All of those Kroger delivery drivers are Kroger employees. They don't take tips, and the delivery fees are as low as $6.99, making it cheaper than a lot of other grocery delivery services. Want an even better deal? If you use the link in the description below this video, you can get $15 off your first 3 orders, or head to Kroger.com/welcome to get shopping. Getting expensive groceries from your hotel? It is out. Ordering from Kroger? In! All right, we are headed back to Main Street, USA for the next item on our worst buy list, and that is prepackaged snacks. Now, really, you can grab prepackaged snacks almost anywhere at Disney World. But here at Magic Kingdom, the big places you're gonna grab these snacks are the confectionery and Big Top Souvenirs. Now, the big reason prepackaged snacks are a big no-no is because oftentimes the snacks, yes, they can get expensive, but because they're prepackaged, they've been sitting there for quite a long time, which means they're probably stale. And if you're gonna buy Disney World prices, you want that Disney World flavor. But real quick, let's get into some specifics. We have made it into the confectionery, and the confectionery is your one-stop shop for all things sweet. Now, inside of all of these casings, you're gonna get your fresh snacks, your caramel apples, your Rice Krispie treats. Oh, that looks... Oh, look at that, look at the marshmallow. That's awesome. That's right, because a lot of them, they are made here right in the confectionery. However, let me show you some of the prepackaged snacks that are often stale before you even buy them. And that would be these bad boys right here. They're your prepackaged Rice Krispie treats, your prepackaged caramel apples. So if you're looking for some sweets, I recommend staying away from all the prepackaged snacks. But some of those same sweets you are going to find in those cases, they're going to be much fresher, more recently made, and way tastier. So with that being said, prepackaged snacks are out. Snacks in the case, they're in. Oh, I didn't even do the accent that time. Now, just for a moment, let's head to Epcot. Now, over at Epcot, there is a magical place called the World Showcase that features 11 different countries where you get to experience the culture through food, wine, architecture of all those 11 different countries. But some of these countries have different merchandise items that some of them are intense, some of them are huge, and some of them are just a choice. Now, I'm not saying all of the merchandise at World Showcase is out. Definitely not what I'm saying. A lot of the merchandise at World Showcase is awesome. I'm specifically referring to some of the more out there merchandise. For example, the 2 feet, 3 feet long sombrero. Really fun in the moment. I don't know how you operate the rest of the day. You can even purchase swords. Yes, swords and katanas. Now, you can't carry them throughout the rest of the park. However, you can have them shipped to your house. So really be intentional about the things you are buying around the World Showcase, because you never know, one too many margaritas and you could be going home with a $70,000 Epcot ball. But if you want to buy something that's going to be more of an experience, I recommend going to Mitsukoshi, which is in the Japan Pavilion, and House of Good Fortune, which is in the China Pavilion, where you can buy some really fun and unique snacks. Towards the back of Mitsukoshi, there's a place called the Marketplace, where you can buy different kinds of Japanese snacks. Pocky, dried crab, Right. Fried rice puffball snacks, those were amazing. Really trying different snacks that you're not used to. Really just kind of being adventurous. Same thing with House of Good Fortune. They've got different flavored Lay's chips like peach beer. Never thought I'd try that. So while you're traveling around the World Showcase and you want to buy some merch, try for something that's going to be more of a merch experience as opposed to something that you buy in the moment and you'll never use again. So impulse buys at World Showcase, out. Experience buys at World Showcase, in. We are in. I keep forgetting the accent. Now, at the beginning of every park, we're talking about Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, and Epcot. There's gonna be their signature store. That's where you can buy all of your Disney merch, like your clothes, your trinkets, your pins, your hats, whatever. And the Emporium here on Main Street, USA is that store for Magic Kingdom. The OG store, if you will. The store that started it all. And what is out is buying the big, giant train sets, monorail sets, or castle sets while you're here in the park. Now, let me be honest, I am super guilty of this. In fact, every time someone has like their first Christmas, or if I know they don't have one, I will literally sit like, this is my Christmas gift to them, the monorail or the train. But they are huge, and if you're traveling, I cannot imagine you trying to put this, or this into your suitcase. I mean, you would have no room. I mean, this is the size of a suitcase. So not only are they pricey, we got the $99 for the monorail, $60 for the train. You know what? I'm shocked. I did the My Disney Experience, the mobile checkout app, just to scan, see how much it was. It's only $74.99. Less expensive than I thought it was, but still huge and bulky, and it actually does get pretty pricey to ship from the parks back to your house. Now let me tell you what's in. Getting everyone a parking lot tram for Christmas. And 9 times out of 10, you can get whatever you saw in there on Shop Disney. Shipping is gonna cost way less, and sometimes they have free shipping deals. And if you do decide to buy your bulky items on Shop Disney instead of the Emporium, that means you won't have the hassle of carrying them around, lugging them to resorts, paying those crazy high shipping fees from Disney. Buying some bulky trends are out. Shopping on Shop Disney, in. Another super disappointing item on our worst buy list are the droids from Galaxy's Edge. My heart.
Over in Disney's Hollywood Studios and Galaxy's Edge, there is a droid depot where you can build your very own droid. You can choose the parts, choose the colors, give them a personality. It really completes your whole Star Wars experience. However, this is another big, bulky item that's going to be impossible to freely move around the parks with or take home with you. Now, once you purchase your very own droid, they're going to put that droid in a big droid box. That's how you can carry it around for the rest of the day. Or you can purchase a droid backpack, but it's basically as if you've added another member to your family. The other thing to mention about it is, yeah, it is pretty cute, and it definitely invites you into the world of Star Wars to basically create your own Star Wars personality with your very own droid, but is it actually going to just sit in the back of your closet for the rest of time?
I mean, realistically, how often are you going to actually play with this droid that you named Arnold? I'm just throwing a name out there. So if you're traveling, you might want to forgo the droid and choose something else to complete your Star Wars experience. Something that I recommend is the Star Wars clothing.
Star Wars is an intellectual property that is known throughout the entire world. It doesn't feel like you have to be in Disney World or on a trip to Disney World to wear the Star Wars clothing. Now, they do have lieutenant hats and things that you might not want to wear to Walmart, but they do have some very subtle nods to Star Wars, to Galaxy's Edge, to any of the intellectual property related to Star Wars all over Disney World, and I'm a big fan. So, with that being said,
the droids have been taken out as a trash. Star Wars clothing is your new wardrobe. Next up on our list, Mickey balloons. Oh, just before we get into it, just ask yourself a question. Why? Call me bitter, call me cold, cue Elsa. It might be an iconic Disney staple. However, after the purchase of your Mickey balloon, it's either going to end up tied to the back of a stroller or floating around your hotel room for days. And you can't actually even travel with it, because the only way to travel with it is if you pop it, you stick it in your suitcase, and then you somehow patch it back up and blow it back up. You know, it just doesn't make sense it's gonna end up whacking you in the face multiple times, or it might end up high in the sky because it wasn't tied well enough to your child's hand, your hand, and you lost it. And that's just bad for the environment. But let me show you an equally as iconic Disney staple that is great to travel with, and it's not gonna be a huge hassle. I'm in Frontierland at Frontier Trading Post, which is going to be your pin trading location other than the Emporium, which means the thing that is in, of course, it's gotta be Disney pins. Now, Disney pins are a fun and iconic way for you to show your personality, as well as a way to deck out your bags or lanyards, whatever you're feeling, however you want to collect them. There's so many different collections, and of course, they are tradable. Each time you come here, maybe you get a different pin, and that's your takeaway, that's your memory. It's small, it can fit anywhere, and it's a great souvenir that's not gonna be a huge bulky thing that's gonna just make your life crazy. Plus, a really cool thing that is back, cast member lanyard pin trading is back. So if you see a cast member wearing a lanyard, you can ask to trade pins with them. It's not just on those cork boards anymore. So we're moving on up. So Mickey balloons, they fly away. Pins are here to stay. Well, that rhymed, that was fun. Now this next one is gonna be super controversial, I know it is, but that's okay. But I wanted to do a test because typically wherever you're standing, you can find one of these out items. Wait a minute. You see him? Found him. Our next worst buy items are the bubble wands. And I know this comes as a shock to literally no one. Now you can find these bubble wands literally anywhere in Disney World. Typically you find them at rolling cart stands or just pop-up stands or popcorn carts, different things like that. But you will find them at all 4 parks and in different varieties. Here in Frontierland at Big Al's, we have our Little Mermaid bubble wand, our Buzz Lightyear bubble wand, our standard Mickey Glow bubble wand, and because I'm at the time of filming, it is currently November, we've got our holiday bubble wand. Now we like to make fun of bubble wands a lot because we say they are the child's dream, but the adult's nightmare. Now these bubbles' main goal in life is to invade personal space, both your personal space and all the strangers around you. I know you've seen this picture before, I know you've got it like ingrained into your brain. There's an adult pushing a stroller, and then a kid in the stroller just holding a bubble wand outside of the stroller and just letting all the bubbles just like fly back and slap people in the face with bubble juice. That's bubble wands. It is another large, bulky item that's gonna be annoying to carry around and to pack when you're traveling back home, wherever you're from. I know many people who have forgotten to rinse their bubble wand, or hopefully the inside of it. They've packed it, and all of their clothes have been soapy when they arrive back home because they forgot to take out the bubbles in their bubble wand. Which means you're gonna spend a lot of money to refill your bubble wand. So let's try something else instead, because bubble wands are a big no. They're big no on the worst buy list. Typically at the same bubble stand, you're gonna see light up toys. Light up ears, light up wands, light up swords, extendable swords. I mean, there's a bunch of different light up toys that you're gonna see all throughout, and typically close to the bubble wands. Now, they may still be bulky depending on what you buy. However, no mess, no bubbles, no personal space issues, no hassle. Which means the bubble wand is out. The light of toys are in. I went from German to British to French. I don't know what I'm doing. We're back in Fantasyland for another item on our worst buy list. We are here at Sir Mickey's. Now, Sir Mickey's is your merchandise store here in Fantasyland, where you can purchase an eclectic array of different Disney IP merchandise or toys or ears. Sir Mickey's is also the place you can get pixie dusted, sprinkling pixie dust on you, basically wishing you the best day ever, and then you're covered with glitter for the rest of the day. I mean, pixie dust. But the big thing you can purchase here, and in case you haven't noticed it yet, it's princess dresses. Now, inside of Sir Mickey's, there's every princess dress you could imagine, from Snow White to Cinderella to Mirabelle, Tinkerbell, Princess Jasmine, Elsa, even Bruno. Now, these princess dresses are some of the most uncomfortable thing you can wear to any theme park. One, they're very scratchy, and tough on the inside. Also, to walk around in a kind of tulle long dress that hangs pretty low and walk around the park all day, it's gonna be tough. And plus the dresses can run you anywhere from $60 up to $70, $80, $90, $100 depending on the size. Weather, first, it's disgusting right now. It's going to rain in just a second, and getting that dress just absolutely poured on would be awful. Plus, there's a lot of food, there's a lot of ice cream melts, it's gonna get all over you. The dresses, it's just probably a bad idea. But here's what you should do instead. Have y'all ever heard of Disney Bound? It's basically where you take a couple different colors, a couple different outfits that you already have in your home, and you match your color scheme and your outfit to a character, a Disney character. So let's say you've got a white and black and red shirt and pants and shoes. You could do a Cruella de Vil Disney Bound. Maybe you've got a dark blue and a light blue outfit with a red belt. You could do a whole Genie Bound from Aladdin. In fact, if you go to AllEars Style on Instagram, you can get a whole bunch of inspiration and ideas of different outfits to wear to the parks. So the scratchy dress is out. Disney Bounding with AllEars Style is in. Your next item on your worst buy list that you definitely should avoid when traveling to the parks is fruit. Disney World fruit. And when you're traveling to Disney World, I encourage you to be adventurous, try new things. Now, there's nothing wrong with fruit, with something healthy from time to time. I totally understand it. But the Disney World fruit, one, pretty expensive. Two, it is kind of in the hot sun for a bit, so it's not always been the best fruit in my opinion. And three, you've spent a lot of money to be here, so you might as well put yourself out there and try a Disney World snack. But if you're gonna eat fruit, I recommend doing this. At popcorn stands and ice cream stands all over Disney World property, you're gonna find a couple different things. You'll typically find the premium ice cream Mickey bar, the ice cream sandwich, the strawberry fruit bar, and the thing that's in, the frozen banana covered with chocolate nuts. Now, is it still considered fruit? Absolutely. However, it's got, it's elevated fruit. See, it's here at Disney. It's got some sweets on it. So for those of you that follow the channel, you guys know I don't love peanut butter. However, I don't mind peanuts. I think it's a texture thing. I don't know what it is, but the banana is frozen and it gives it like a weird ice cream consistency. So it kind of tastes like you're eating a banana ice cream covered in chocolate nuts. It's really not bad and definitely a lot better than just your basic, boring, average fruit here in Disney World. Make it worth your while. If you're eating at Disney World, make it worth your while. Fruit is out, frozen fruit is in. All right, we are making our way through this list, better than I thought on this crazy, gloomy, and crowded day here in Disney World. Wild. But next up on the things that are gonna be the worst things you buy in Disney World, water bottles. Y'all knew this was already gonna be on the list. Now picture this, you're a family of 4, right? You didn't bring any water bottles beforehand, so you gotta purchase your water bottles every time you guys get thirsty. I don't know, let's say you get thirsty 7 times a day. Dasani water is already $4 per bottle, so let's do the math. So hold on. That's around $112. $112 on just water. And let's say you're here for 5 days. I mean, that's almost $600. I typically get Smart Water if I have to get a bottled water here, and that's upwards of $5 per bottle. So water bottles are definitely out here in Disney World. But what's in? Y'all already know. It's the free water. Cups of iced water is completely free in Disney World, and here's what you're gonna do to get it. You're gonna go to a quick service location, any quick service location. You're gonna go up to the quick service, the mobile ordering window, ask for 2 cups, or how many people are in your party, or whatever, how many cups you want, and they will either give you cups for you to go fill it at the soda fountain station, or they're gonna give you just the cups of water. Now recently we have seen tanks of water outside of quick service locations for you to fill them up on your own. It's not a soda fountain, it's like a big plastic tank of water for you to do that, which isn't my favorite, but still it is cold, it's refreshing, it does the job, and it is better than spending almost $600 on bottled water. Bad for the environment, it's expensive, and you can get free water. Now we actually have been doing our due diligence, and we've actually been bringing our own water bottles and filling them up with the free cups of water. The sun has always been out. Free water, it's in. And just like that, it is starting to rain, which brings me to my next worst buy list. Good timing, Disney Dome that doesn't exist. It's really funny because as I'm talking about it, I can see everyone literally put on the thing on our worst buy list, and that is the poncho. I mean, ponchos as far as the eye can see right now. Now, why does everyone have a poncho on? Well, probably because it's cheaper and it can be easily put in your bag. I get all that. However, I think it's time to make a change. A lot of Disney ponchos are billed as multi-use, re-wearable ponchos. However, every time myself or someone from the team, we have a poncho, it rips by the very first wear, and honestly, it makes us a little more wet because every time we try and take it off, the water is still on the poncho, and it just makes even more of a mess than it did if we had our thing that's in. And I am talking about the umbrella. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory, but the umbrella is obviously multiple use. I encourage you to find a small umbrella that is collapsible, that will easily fit into your bag, and you'll be able to easily navigate the parks, do what you need to do. When the weather's on and off like this, I even have a little strap that attaches to my hand, so that way I just let it dangle, I walk, everything is just fine. I kind of attach it to my bag sometimes, and also I just don't want it to mess with my outfit. I get it's just a black shirt and a green thing, but the plastic on top of me, it just doesn't work. Now, if you're Team Umbrella like I am and you forgot your umbrella, they are available for purchase. However, they're not always out in the open. Typically, they end up being behind the counter, and they do run out from time to time. So if you want an umbrella, you're gonna go to the cast member behind the counter at the register and ask for an umbrella, and they should have them back there. Do you hear what I'm saying, people? Ponchos are out. Umbrellas are in. This one's personal. The thing that is definitely out, phone chargers. Now, recently I have a little vendetta against my external battery because during the Halloween Horror Night, or very first opening night, Emma and Quincy, they were there doing their media event stuff. Cassie from DFB and myself, we were there on the floor doing all the scare zones, doing all the food, and it rained the entire time. And it shorted out my external battery. None of my cords worked. It's just irritating. So then I started carrying around just a phone charger, because here at Disney World there are different places that you can just sit down for a bit and charge your phone. There's by the Rapunzel bathroom, there's by Big Top Souvenirs all the way in the back, there's a huge tent where you can sit down, the whole recharging area, and that's fine. But it just takes up so much time out of your days. Phone chargers, they're out. However, this is what's in. I will say fuel rods have been the thing to save me lately. And the first time you get a fuel rod, it's gonna cost you about $30. Now, it literally comes with a small external battery, and then it also comes with 3 different adapters based on whatever phone you have, whether it's USB-C, Lightning cable, Android. But the best part about it is that once you do that $30 purchase, all you have to do moving forward, once this runs out of juice, you just find another fuel rod kiosk and you just swap it for free. Now, if you do lose this, you are gonna have to purchase the $30 buy again, but you put it in and it gives you a brand new one, and it works. It works for me, keeps my phone alive, especially when we're doing those big media events that were there for 14 hours. It's been super helpful, and it's been awesome the entire time. Fuel rod is in. Phone chargers, external batteries that get wet and die after 2 seconds, they're out. See, that was more like an umpire. I'm just mixing up the characters. I'm a mess today. Now, before we get off the whole fuel rod topic, I should note that the fuel rod will only really give you 1, maybe 2 charges, but there are kiosks everywhere, all over the Disney parks. So if anything happens, you just gotta swap it out. Done and done. And there are 6 to 7 locations that you can get the fuel that the fuel rod kiosks are just here in Magic Kingdom. There's on Main Street, it's over by Curtain Call, in Adventureland, which is where I typically go. There's the Adventureland Breezeway. Over in Storybook Circus, there's one in Big Top Souvenirs. I mean, they're everywhere. You can put this next thing on the bulky, annoying souvenirs that you'll probably never use again list, the worst buys. We're talking about the Mister fans. Really, I think the whole message of this video is be careful about buying bulky things. But we'll talk about the misting fans for a second, is that it is gonna be a pretty large, annoying, bulky thing for you to carry on the park the rest of the day. Yes, it does hang around your neck, and yes, the kids might be like, yeah, let's, don't worry, I'll put it around my neck, and it's gonna last for like 5 minutes, then you will end up with this bulky fan thing. But on top of all that, it does actually get you pretty wet, so it's gonna end up becoming more of a play thing than an actual thing to cool you off. So instead of buying a Mr. Fan, here's what you should buy instead. I'm talking about the cooling towels. Now, the cooling towels are a great way to keep your body cool as well as not creating a whole bunch of hassle for yourself or your family. Look, I don't know how the cooling towel science works, but all you're gonna do is you're gonna dip the cooling towel into some water and you're gonna drape it around your neck, and how it works, it just it really cools down your body temperature. It just hangs around your neck. It's not like this big, massive water spray fan that needs batteries and the fan is gonna die soon, and really all you hear is the kids just like stopping the fan with their finger, and it's just a lot. So enjoy the cooling towel, which is gonna be way less hassle for you, and ditch those misting fans. So misting fans, they are out. I remember the accent. Cooling towels, they are in. This one's gonna upset some people. Sorry. Something that is out. The popcorn buckets. Now I get it. People collect popcorn buckets for a bunch of reasons. But remember, it's gonna be super hard to travel with. I know people who travel from out of town, and when they bring their popcorn buckets back home with them, they just have to sit with it on the plane. Like, it's not really something that can go in their suitcase. Can't really go in your carry-on unless you get rid of a bunch of things that you brought with you. The other option, again, is to always bring a third suitcase that's empty and fit all the stuff into it, but who really does that? If you do it, let me know. I'm a local, so I've never had to do that. But yes, it can be pretty bulky. It's gonna be a hassle all day. The other thing I've noticed is that it actually doesn't hold a lot of popcorn. It's more for the looks, more for the creativity, more for the collection, which is totally fine. However, there's something else that I think, if you're gonna eat popcorn, I think you should do something a little creative, something with an experience. Follow me. We are headed back into the Main Street confectionery, because all the way in the back of the confectionery is a really cool popcorn area. If you can see it all the way up there, you'll see candied popcorn. But this is gonna be the home of Colonel Kitchen, where you can get candied popcorn. All you gotta do is pick your popcorn, select the syrup, and combine with candies, and enjoy. It's like Chipotle, but popcorn. And when you're in here, they will have different holiday offerings or some special offerings depending on what's happening. If a new movie's coming out, or it's Halloween or Christmas. Right now, at the time of filming, they're doing holiday peppermint popcorn for the holidays. You can pick your popcorn, which is either gonna be butter, caramel, or cheddar. Put some syrup on it, milk chocolate, white chocolate, dark chocolate, and then put a bunch of candy on it, like Twix, Skittles sour. Oh, okay, all right. I might have to do this. I had to step out of the store because I'm on a health journey, and I can't be anywhere near that right now. Just give me a second. Okay, so unfortunately, kids, popcorn buckets are out. Colonel Kitchen is in. All right, it's starting to rain pretty hard now. I'm gonna take cover, and we're gonna talk about something at Animal Kingdom while we can take cover from the rain just for a little bit. Now, we actually talk about this quite often, especially if you have any questions about using Genie Plus and where Genie Plus is actually needed. There are 3 different versions of Genie on your My Disney Experience app. The first version is the free version, basically just a suggested itinerary saying things like, hey, the Tiki Room has a pretty low wait, you should ride it. And the second version is going to be your most popular version, which is your pay to skip the line date-based fee. Now, we've seen that fee go anywhere from $15 to $35, and you can skip the line on most Disney World attractions. Which brings me to the very last version of Genie, and that's the individual lightning lane. And that's a completely different fee just to ride the e-ticket attractions. Now, Genie Plus can get pretty expensive depending on how many people in your party, how many days that you're actually going to be here. So it's important to know when to use it, when to not use it. And we always say that Animal Kingdom is not necessarily a place to need Genie Plus. Animal Kingdom has the least amount of rides or attractions out of any of the 4 Disney World parks. They also have some great single rider options, and it's typically the least crowded. In fact, Emma just did a video where she almost proved that Animal Kingdom was indeed a half-day park, because she did everything twice. I don't want to spoil much, but just go see that, because it definitely proves something. So what's out is getting Genie Plus at Disney's Animal Kingdom. What's in is getting the individual lightning lane for 1 ride only, and that would be Flight of Passage. Flight of Passage is the e-ticket attraction at Animal Kingdom. It's gonna be the one that you wait the most time for. Typically, we see it anywhere from 80 to 90 to 100 minutes. And that's where you actually become an avatar and you fly on the back of an Ikran, or otherwise known as a Banshee, and you fly over the Valley of Moara. Pandora, you fly all through Pandora, and you even come across some other kind of terrifying banshees as well. It's fun, it's exciting, and it's tranquil. It's next level virtual simulator. But we believe that getting the individual lightning lane for Flight of Passage is going to be your way to conquer the parks. We even did a whole Genie Plus challenge where Emma didn't have anything. She didn't have Genie Plus, she didn't have individual lightning lane. Quincy had Genie Plus, and I only had individual lightning lane. I was done hours before they were done. Because with the right rope drop strategy and individual lightning lane for Flight of Passage, truly that park is definitely conquerable. So Genie Plus is out, individual lightning lane at DAC is in. In case I wasn't extremely clear that you should avoid impulse expensive buys and do more expensive experiences instead, if you can swing it, this is another on your worst list. We're talking about expensive crystals and glass. Now, there are different places you can buy crystal work, there's glass work, and while it might be gorgeous, it is gonna be often very, very expensive. And I'm not quite sure if the juice is really worth the squeeze on this one. Specifically, if you're traveling from out of town, it's gonna be pretty hard to make sure that this doesn't break. Because they're glass, because they're crystal, they are extremely fragile. So we're gonna head into Crystal Arts here on Main Street, USA to see what some of the things you can buy potentially are. Now, obviously it's still sprinkling, so this is gonna be very busy inside. It's not typically this busy. But here at Crystal Art, you can see some really great glass and crystal artwork, whether it be in the form of mugs, different figurines, and you can even see a crystal or glass sculpture artist do their work. Look at that. They just did that. That's wild. They made a glass or a crystal sleigh. This glass castle is currently $285,000. I mean, that's an impulse buy. I am embarrassed to say that I do indeed, or I used to have one of these. I put my wife and I's face in there. Like, this is us. Merry Christmas. Here's us in a crystal. It's probably one of the worst gifts I've ever given. Not to say that some people don't enjoy that. That's just something Shannon and I don't enjoy, so why get it? It is weird. And there's even a whole glass blower section all the way in the back. They do demonstrations back here. Right now, he is currently doing getting ready to do a custom order, which is very, very cool. Look at this. It's glass blowing ornaments. Gorgeous. Now, while the glass blowing and the glass mending, the crystal mending, it's all very cool. These are going to be very expensive, and the biggest thing about it is that if it does break because they're extremely fragile, it's not really replaceable. A lot of these are a one-time make. Each one is unique because a lot of them are made to order, and a lot of them are actual artwork. So it's not like they're making them in a factory and they're just, oh yeah, you want another glass Mickey? Here you go. That's not really how it works. I prefer an experience. So instead, here is what's in. If you're gonna drop a lot of cash on an expensive item, why not drop a lot of cash on an expensive experience, like a dinner with you and your family? Now, some of the artwork in Crystal Arts can be anywhere from $200 to $1,000 to $75,000, something crazy. Instead of getting a glass Mickey for $1,000, why not have a nice meal at Victoria and Albert's for $1,000? It's definitely possible. I know because I've done it. Maybe you go to Hoop-de-Doo instead, which is a great dinner theater experience where all you care to enjoy fried chicken, sangria, ribs, and there's an awesome show. The Hoop-de-Doo players, they're incredible, so much fun. So instead of spending a bunch of money on crystals, why not spend a bunch of money on a fun dining experience instead? So the crystals, they're out. Fun experience, a dining experience, we're bringing that back in. Bring back the dining experiences, the fun ones. And finally, this is one that I get tricked into quite a lot, and that's the expensive art. So all over Disney World property, there are different shops where you can buy really, really great Disney art by different artists. There's the Art of Disney at Disney Springs. Over New Fantasyland near Gaston's Tavern, there's an art section over there. There's some really great places you can purchase Disney art of your favorite characters, maybe of your favorite rides. It's really interesting, but they are very expensive. We're talking $200, $300, $400. Instead of splurging for that, How about you splurge for something that the whole family can enjoy? And I'm talking about PhotoPass. Now, all throughout every Disney World park, you're gonna see people in these kind of bright green outfits and these navy blue shorts. They are part of PhotoPass. And the PhotoPass photographers, they are awesome. They're gonna help you create the best picture, whether it be different poses. Once Breedlove and I, we had some extra time and we were in Dinoland USA and we met this awesome PhotoPass photographer, and she took us everywhere, all over Dinoland USA, did a whole photo shoot with us. They can definitely make some magical moments, and I much prefer those pictures over some picture of Miss Piggy. You know, those memories are gonna last a lifetime, and now we have them on PhotoPass. There are also these really great magic shots where you can have Tinkerbell floating in your hand, or those super zooms that, you know, get all of Galaxy's Edge and then they zoom in on you. It's really fun, really unique, and make that your own art. Frame that, because those memories are gonna far surpass that picture of Miss Piggy that you bought once for $400. So the expensive artwork is out. PhotoPass, that's always been in, baby. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Now go watch me at Epcot go over all the worst and weirdest things to buy. See you next time.